Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. As I'm sure many of you have noticed by now, and for reasons that you've probably already figured out, I've kind of decided to take today off from posting videos. I need to do this video because it's an injury report that's only going to be interesting for not even 24 hours because tomorrow we're going to get the game statuses. But other than that, I decided to take it easy today. Back to normal stuff tomorrow, but today I got family over. I got some stuff going on. We got a lot of football going on. I'm at halftime of the second game right now. Just made sense. But I do want to talk about this injury report. We got it from Alec Lewis today. He's got both sides of it. So we're going to take a look at the Seahawks today. We're going to take a look at the Vikings as well, and just get a feel for what we may or may not have when the game kicks off on Sunday. So let's go over to it. All right, guys, before I go any further, I want to tell you guys about my buddies over at Sleeper. And let me tell you, if you're not using Sleeper for daily fantasy football, you are missing out. Check out the left side of your screen right now. Look at all the fun stuff you can get up to. Look at all the stuff you can pick one way or the other on. I've got an entry for this week, the Thanksgiving week of football. We got George Pickens over 75.5 yards against Kansas City. I got Chase Brown and JSN scoring anytime touchdowns in their respective games. And I've got Josh Allen throwing for at least 2 touchdowns against Pittsburgh. Get on over there. You can put together bet slips just like this one. And if you use promo code SBN, that is SBN, you can get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Check out Sleeper today. Go put your picks down and have fun with sports this year. All right, so easy stuff out of the way first. Cooper Kupp, limited to full. DeMarcus Lawrence, limited to full. JSN, limited to full. Leonard Williams, limited to full. All those guys were just getting rest time yesterday anyway, so there's not really much to say there. They should be fine. Should be good. So good news on all those guys, not that there was ever any concern. All right, other full participants today include Ernest Jones. So 2 straight days of full practice participation probably means he's going to be able to go this weekend. If he doesn't, it would be strange. Mike McDonald sounded like he was kind of trying to set up a soft landing for that outcome. So it's a little bit surprising that things are going as well as they are. So I don't know if maybe there's something under the radar here that we're not understanding. But for the moment, it looks like Ernest Jones is going to be basically 100%. Mike Morris also goes from limited to full. So good news there. Not that he plays a lot, but does special team stuff. Can't be bad. And Gray Zabel, this is going to be a relief for a lot of people, goes from limited on Wednesday to a full participant today. So it seems like he's basically past the injury that initially looked really bad and really concerning. At this point, I would assume that I'm not going to act like anybody's truly 100% right now, but basically we're talking 100% at this point. And Cody White remains a full participant after being full on Wednesday. So that's all the stuff that we're pretty chill on all that right now. It would be very surprising if anything bad happened there. So let's go over to the limited guys right now. We got Riley Mills, limited again. Don't expect him to play this week anyway because he's got to kind of get himself back into game shape. He's got to put in a couple weeks of practice at least before you can even really consider putting him on the field for an actual game. But he is still limited. Ken Walker remains limited with the glute injury, but it seems like it's the same injury that he played perfectly fine through last week. Actually had one of his best games of the year, so not really concerned there. Seems like Ken Walker will be fine. And then we got some good news on Uchenna Nwosu, who got some practice in today, limited, and Tai Okada also went from a DNP to a limited. Now, in the case of Nwosu, there may be this team may feel a little bit obligated to take it easy with him because he is a veteran and because we've had so many issues here already. So it wouldn't shock me if he doesn't play or barely plays this weekend. But Okada already getting back on the practice field a little bit is very encouraging. So right now, I would say I like Okada's chances, and yeah, it actually looks pretty darn agreeable. The only DNP today was Helani. Helani, I'm sure he's going to be out this weekend, probably going to miss some time beyond this week, but it again, it's nothing that's really going to hurt this team. We signed Cam Akers probably for this exact reason. All of our and don't get me wrong, this team has injury problems right now, but it's all stuff on IR. You've got the Julian Loves, the Eric Sauberts of the world. By the way, in case you missed it yesterday, Julian Love, don't expect to see him this week. Same for Saubert. Guys like Jaron Reed as well, Torrey Horton, those are the guys that we're missing right now, but they're IR guys. We've known that we haven't had them for a while, and it's not a surprise that we continue to not have them, but over the next few weeks, these guys should start to trickle back. So, hey, all things considered, we are looking very good. It was a little bit bumpy yesterday, a little bit concerning, but today things do look a lot better. Okay, Vikings side. Let's go over to the Vikings now. Again, easy stuff out of the way first. Justin Jefferson and Harrison Smith were both resting partially yesterday. They practiced in full today, but there was never any real concern there, so they're both fine. Limited, though, you've got Jonathan Greenard still limited with the shoulder injury. I imagine he plays, but it seems like he's less than 100%. Theo Jackson, I don't think he starts for them, but limited. I think he's a special teamer. J.J. McCarthy, still limited with a concussion, although, again, I think that we should assume that he's not playing. I think that's the reasonable thought at this point. Seems like he is just going to go through the protocol, but no real chance of coming back this week. Josh Metellus, limited, important player for them, by the way, at safety. He does start for them, so it does seem like he's got a good chance to play this weekend, but he's working through some stuff. Dallas Turner, also limited after being limited yesterday, and this is kind of a big one here. New Jalen Redmond, one of their key down linemen, got injured either yesterday or earlier today, I guess, because no designation yesterday, but today he's limited. So for a team that is already kind of disappointed with what they're getting in the trenches defensively this year, that's a big deal. He's been pretty important for them this season. So Jalen Redmond, we'll see what happens there. He was limited today, so not necessarily a big problem, but certainly worth monitoring. And the big ones, of course, are Christian Darrisaw and Donovan Jackson, starting tackle, starting guard. Seems like they're both out. And at this point, if either guy plays, you wouldn't necessarily expect either guy to play at a very high level, because if they're not well enough to practice on a Thursday, there's clearly something not right. Donovan Jackson is a very young player. Darrisaw is a veteran, so he can miss practice and still probably play, but not Donovan Jackson. Donovan Jackson's a guy who needs practice reps right now. So they're going to be down to their backup at left tackle most likely, and I think their backup left guard is a right guard who has very little experience playing left guard, so that's probably also going to be an unpleasant experience for the Vikings. And that is it. That is what we got. So there's your practice report. Everybody have a good rest of your Thanksgiving. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. I don't think I'm streaming tonight. And yeah, have a good day. Go Hawks. That is the latest and greatest.